Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Galzerano, and I'm here at the Rehabilitation Center of world-renowned Wissahickon Chiropractic. Today I'm going to show you the routine that I do every morning. It takes about 15 minutes, and I make sure I do it every day, just like brushing my teeth. And I believe everyone needs a routine to do in the morning to stretch, strengthen, and wake the body up. It's much better than a cup of coffee and a donut for sure. I'm a chiropractor, so my job involves a lot of physical exertion, and I have to have my body in good shape, especially as I get older. It's so important to make sure that the joints are both stretched and stabilized so that injury doesn't occur. And even if you have a job driving or a job sitting in front of a computer, you need to do something to make sure that your muscles are stretched and your joints are stabilized. You also need to do something on a regular basis to tone your muscles. So I'm going to show you what I do. I've given up on using the big heavy weights. I've hurt myself several times doing that. I'm not as young as I used to be. So I find, especially for us baby boomers, the exercise tubing is a very good approach to both stretching and strengthening your muscles. Now, I have this unit here that I use because it's something that I can use in my office for a very simple way to help people rehabilitate their bodies. But you don't need that because these all have, if you can see it from there, but they have at the end of this nylon strap, there's an area that bulges out, and you can close a door on it, and you put it between the door frame, and you can move it just about anywhere. There's also a unit that's very cheap. You can also put it inside the door, and it has hooks for these to go in. Either way you do it, it's very convenient. You can, if you don't have room in your house, you can just roll them up, put them aside, have a little bag or something for them, and you can take them out every day. I'm fortunate in that I do have this unit here that makes it a little easier. So the way that these are rated, they're rated by color, and they're rated by as much the poundage of resistance, the pounds of resistance that they provide when they're stretched to double their resting length. So this, the black one, is the most heavy duty. If you stretch this to twice its length, which I'm not able to do, especially in this position, it's 100 pounds of resistance. So this is like a 100-pound weight. The green, I believe the green is about 50 pounds, and there's red. There are different colors, and then we have the thin ones. Now, originally I got these to do rehabilitation for my patients. These are mostly for injured patients, but you may have to start with a thin tubing, and they do give you some resistance. And if your muscles, if you've been injured, your muscles need building, if you've let yourself become very unconditioned, then these are very good. And you can get these narrow ones, or you can get the thick ones. These can be purchased online. I have them at my web store, or you can get them at a sporting goods store. And they're relatively inexpensive, I believe. They're anywhere from $15 to $25, depending on the thickness of the tubing. And they come with handles. I like the ones with handles, obviously, because it makes it much easier to hold. If you don't have much money at all, you could get the tubing, just the plain tubing, and wrap it around your hand. So let me just show you how I start my day. Now, there's a principle in the body where as one group of muscles tightens, the antagonistic muscles, or the muscles on the other side of the bone, have to relax. For instance, if you contract the bicep muscles, in order for the elbow to move, the triceps have to relax. And if the biceps did not relax, you couldn't straighten your arm. But as the triceps, which are at the back of the arm, start to contract, then the bicep will automatically turn off and allow you to move your elbow. So we use this, and it's very good to use in my morning routine. So what I start with is I start with the green one over my head. Now, from when I was a kid, I had trouble touching my toes. I just don't have flexible hamstring muscles which have to stretch in order for you to reach the floor. But I find by using this, I'm turning on the quadriceps in the front as well as the abdominal muscles, as well as the hip flexing muscles, and that turns off the back muscles and the hamstring muscles to some degree. I mean, they're not totally limp, or else you might just collapse and fall over. But it allows for a movement, a downward movement, and again, this is, I guess, the green is probably 40 or 50 pounds at twice its length, and I'm going to stretch it for more than twice its length. And you have to be careful, no matter if you put it inside a door or inside a hook, that it's really in there securely. Because one time I had the unfortunate experience of not, when I didn't check it, of it slipping out, and somehow I wound up on the floor, whacked in the back of the head with 40 pounds of force, and I was pretty stunned for about 15-30 seconds. So, you go down, and now I'm stretching. Now what I'm doing is I'm stretching, my shoulders are stretching, the pectoral muscles are tightening, the shoulder muscles are moving, so they're all engaged. This is a natural movement. I'm not isolating a muscle or a group of muscles. I'm using all the muscles. As I go down here, I am touching the floor. I don't know if you can see me from where you are, but I'm touching the floor now, and then I come up. You come up slowly. You don't let the tubing pull you up like a marionette. You control it. Now my back muscles are working, and my arm muscles, the shoulder muscles, the triceps, they're all working. And I come up. Now what I do is I bring it down, working the lat muscles, and then bring it forward, working the pectoral muscles. And we come back out. Now working the muscles in the upper back and stretching the pectorals at the same time. So you're stretching one group as you're tightening or strengthening the other. I like to go up on my toes here just to stretch my ankles, and then I go down. And I do 10 of these every morning. So you do that. You come up and down. Then I face the wall. I want to work on the latissimus muscles, the upper back muscles. It's a nice stretch. The upper arms are stretching, the biceps are stretching, while the triceps are really working hard. And this is mostly a tricep exercise, but it uses the back muscles as well. Of course, as I do it, the hamstrings are tightening slightly, all the way down to the toes. So it's a good general exercise. I do 10 of those. Then, I use the big, heavy, black, and I go out like this, and pull to the side. Now when I do this, I'm stretching all the shoulder, all the muscles on the right side, and I'm using the lateral or transverse abdominal muscles on the other side to pull me slightly this way. At the same time, I'm bringing my ear to my shoulder and stretching this side of my neck, the left side of my neck. A lot of times in the morning I hear some popping in there because there is some arthritic degeneration in my lower neck. And I let it pull me. If you let it pull you, you'll get the opposite. Now it's pulling on this arm, and it's stretching the right side of my neck. And pulling this way is also working the transverse abdominals on the right. And I do 10 of these, pulling. Now the further out, away from the wall you get, the more resistance the tubing provides. And do it on that side, and then do 10 on this side. So we have a nice stretch in there.